Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Uttapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitham Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamscha Om Jnanadimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Jakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Sri Krishna Chaitanya Ki Bhaikavidya Ya Maryata Rakshati Vaishnavanam Kripavalam Madhava Pristakami Sri Bhakti Varadimashayami Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Pevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Gaura Bhaktarinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Gaur. Dandavat Pranam to all. So I'm really again very happy that we can all meet by the causeless mercy of Gurudev and the Vaishnavas, and to remember something about really what is our actual, the highest interest, in our life. We want to go for that. The Srimad Bhagavatam says that Kim Pramadasya Bahubhya Parokshair Hayannairiyariha Varam Muhurtam Viditam Gatate Shreyasyayata. There is written that actually what is the value of a long life if it is just wasted. Wasted in that sense, if you are not engaged, at least for some short time, for the highest interest, for the supreme interest, then just a long life is really useless. It's wasted. So better is just a moment where we really can serve just for this, for a small moment, the supreme interest. So what is that supreme interest? It means to be established in our real self, in our sambandha, in our relationship to the Lord. So to be established in ourself, in this world really, where everything else is constantly pushing us to somewhere else, that to keep to that real self, that is the greatest achievement really. If we can do that, if we are able to do that. The question is, because life is very, it can bring us here and there. So we have to ask ourselves if we want to sit in the driver's seat of our life, or just life drives us, let's say, without any direction. Just like a leaf which is blown here by the wind, here and there. It's just like moving according to the directions of the wind. So because this world, it's really so nicely decorated by our Maya Devi, the illusionary energy, with so many seemingly attractive things, and they are occupying all our senses and mind. So we are constantly distracted actually. Actually, the first level of materialist is very low. No, there are people in this world, they are really just looking after material possessions. They want to wear, I don't know, nice clothes. They're looking all the time how I can get the best clothes, how I can get the best car, how I can get the best environment where I live, the house. So it's very materialistic. Also, once I remember this one actor, I think he said, I don't know if it was Jim Carrey or someone, he said that he wished that everybody has a lot of opulence, he get all these things, name and fame, just to realize that it is useless at the end. So because really those who have got all this, actually at one point he realized, no, that was not really something which could give really inner satisfaction. So that is very low, to just look after material possessions, really materialistic people. And the second type of people, they are like, okay, they look more after relationships. No? They like to be friendly, to have nice relationships with. That is more important for them. That is better, but also at one moment they will realize that yes, all my love, all my affection which I put in the things in this world, they also will perish. I lose them all the time. So it is not a permanent happiness, so it cannot give real satisfaction. Sometimes, most of the time, the opposite happens, because you lose something where you're so much attached and you have given so much love, and then it's very difficult to give this up. So, and then those types of people, they will realize, yes, there is, or I have to go beyond this, and then they search for eternal love, which is available, and for that we need Guru and Vaishnava. They will help us to really go for that. But otherwise we are just pushed from here to there, and we will call that also freedom. No? The ordinary people, they think that if they have to be in prison, let's say, they get the police catch them and they have to go in prison for whatever reason, then they are not free. But if they are out of prison again, they are free. But this is a very, very deceptive and illusionary freedom. It's not freedom actually, but almost all the people, they are thinking like that. So actually freedom means, like our Baba Shishamdas always tells us, that we want to be controlled by Guru and Vaishnava. But now someone can ask, oh, how it can be freedom? How I can be free if I am controlled by someone? Can we call that freedom? So that sounds a little bit strange, no? But actually only for those who have already they made the mistake in the beginning in their calculation. Because actually the thing is that we are all guided by our previous samskaras. You know, samskaras, we have created impressions in our life, like let's say habits, and according to that we are making all our decisions. So we are running around and we think we do this and that, but it's guided by our previous samskaras. So it's not really freedom. We cannot call it freedom. So as long we are not under the control of the really strict guidance has to be there of Guru and Vaishnava, so that we don't need to be always bow down to all our previous samskaras, because that is like a slave. No? We are like a slave to our previous samskaras. And if we want to overcome that, then we have to surrender to Guru and Vaishnava. So only those who have realized that fallacy, they will put themselves under the guidance of Guru and Vaishnava to attain this actual freedom. No, so this guidance will also, of Guru and Vaishnava, of course, will be very individual. From individual to individual it will be different, but mainly what Sri Guru is doing, he is giving some structure, to our life. He gives very specific instructions, and if we follow them, they are like a safe way to guide our life. So he will say, at that time you wake up, for example, at that time you chant your Harinam, your Japa. He will also say, at that time you take prasadam, at that time you take rest, at that time you hear Harikatha, or you do a lot of restrictions are there actually in spiritual life. Because our senses, they always just want to run, no? So that's why especially the ashrams are created also. Ashrams are places where students under the guidance of Guru, they have the chance to stay there and to regulate their life according to that. So they have to find these structures in those ashrams, they will be very, very helpful in the beginning. Also, because once you adopt all these principles, then later also you can, wherever he or she is going, she can apply those structures here and there. Maybe a little slightly different, but the purpose is the same. So that's why actual grihas, like really nice couples or nice grihastas, if they had before the time to live in an ashram, at least like the brahmacharis, and then he enters marriage life, he will be much more stable in marriage life than other ones. Also same for mata, if they have first of all understood some principles of life. Nowadays it's just like cats and dogs, they say. It's just like everybody is doing what they want, but Vedic marriage is a very regulated thing. So, but for that you need that structure which one is learning before in the Gurukul or then it becomes very easy. After one can also adjust, but it will be because already some impressions are there then. But by the mercy of Guru and Vaishnava, everything can be adjusted rightly. So that is so. Only what is the purpose of this structure? The purpose is to get stability of the mind, of the body and everything else. Because if the mind, body is under control, then everything is running smoothly. It's said in one Vaishnava song, they say, Kintu kave Prabhu, yoga darpibe adasera doya kori, chitta stira have, sakala saivo ekanta bhajivohari. So chitta stira, chitta means the mind or heart in that case, which can be stirata, very fixed. So our mind and heart is going here and there. So with that we cannot do ekanta bhajivohari. We cannot with one-pointedness worship the Lord. So that's why in this prayer Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, O Kintu Kavabru, when that time will come, when I can really follow your order. And with the steady mind, I can sit in one place and chant very concentrated, one-pointed, the Harinam Mala. And in the second line he is saying, Shaishava Jauvane Jada Sukha Sange, Abhyasa Hoilo Manda, Nicha Karma Doshe Edeha Hoilo Bachanayana Pratibanda. So that means Shaishava Jauvane, in my youth, so I have all tasted this Chada Sukh, this material happiness, the association of material people. So this has created like we discussed before, those samskaras. And now it is like a bhajan pratibandha, it is like a bondage for my bhajan to go further. So these are all, that's why there are many verses like where Babaji Maharaj, Vichitarisi kabayu ratantamanasturagam yayayatantamatilo these verses, then Chanchala Himana Krishna Pramati Palavartisham Tasyam, all this is in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. They explain all how difficult this is. Like Arjun says that my mind is like a wind, you know, how I can control. Can one catch the wind? It's very difficult to, almost impossible. And somewhere it's explained that the senses, they are just like wild horses. They always want to taste, smell, and taste all those things in the material world. And so it's our mind and senses, they are constantly, they're pushing us here and there. So material association created all these kinds of bad habits, no? Which is really unfavorable for our bhajan now. So all these habits, they have to become, they became like lines in stone, no? So it's very difficult to change them. A line in stone you cannot change so easily. So, but only it is possible. That's why the structure is important, the instruction of Guru and Vaishnava, because under their guidance we can get the power to first leave the old habits or this old grain, and then we create new lines. Like Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, he also, it is said that his bhajan, what he was doing was like lines in stone. So Raghunatha Niyam Jena Pashanera Rekha. So he would do daily like 1,000 Dandavat Pranam to all the to Bhagavan, and 2,000 he would do to Vaishnavas. So here also is that he is doing 2,000 for Vaishnavas. Why? Because the Vaishnavas, they are more important for us here on this plane. And Srila, there is also the Sat Goswami Astakam, Shankya Purva Kana Magana Natibi Kalavasani Krida Nidrahara Vihara Kadi Vichita Chahityanta Dina Chayo Radha Krishna Gunasmite Maturima Mandena Sammohida Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghuyuga Si Jiva Gopalaka. So what they did the whole day, no? They were just chanting the holy name, singing songs, then offering Dandavat Pranam to all the places where the pastime places of Radha and Krishna also in Vrindavan. And so they would have a fixed vow of how much rounds they chant daily. And in this way, always being very humble, meek and humble. And in this way they spent their days. So that is the line in stone, no? They were all the time doing this. And and then if all our external activities, they are under such restrictions, then really the boon which we will get is actual freedom. That is the real freedom, because now we are no more slaves, no, to all our impulses around us, which are driving us here and there. Now we have got again our ownership, no, over our mind, our senses, and if our senses are controlled, then, or the mind, then automatically we can live a peaceful life. So it goes together, and it is very important, because now, since a few weeks, Srila Baba Maharaj, he started to also try to, he is giving Harikatha on Manashiksha. Manashiksha, these are like all those, and he says this whole Manashiksha means to give instruction to the Shiksha, instructions to the mind. So that is how we can, it's really a perfect guideline of how to actually enter into Rupa Nuga Bhajan, because at the end we want to go there. And he explains there are also so many things, like all that, what is Sadhan Bhakti, Bhav Bhakti, Prema Bhakti. So we have to all know those things and not do like bhajan like foolish, he's saying. And because everything in this is very scientific. So Krishna consciousness or Gaudiya Math, the Gaudiya Math's teachings is not a movement for just sentimentalists, no. It is very, one can really, one has to follow a particular track. Like Sadananda Swami also, last time I was publishing this, he writes to Vamandas that because Vamandas, he was preaching in the West, and then some other yogis, they came also, and then he properly wrote that, oh, now many people, they move there and this, and his classrooms are empty, more or less, and then Sadananda Swami, he writes back that he should not feel sad if this so-called yogi Maharishi, he is catching the foul fish, from the surface of the water. And because there are so many, they just run after those Indian monks, they come to the West especially, and Sadananda Swami is telling that they think they want to get like mantras for all their magical purposes in life. They think that everything will be solved. Even those mantras, they have no power at all, because that the mantra really has power. It needs to be given from one who has realized that mantra. Mantras you cannot give, just read somewhere and then recite. No. Mantras you have to get from someone who has realized that Ishtadeva, that predominating deity of that mantra. It's not just blowing air in the ears. No. But they think like that. They think that, oh yes, they can do everything to collect here and there this mantra and that mantra, like souvenirs, like a tiger claw or cloves and relics from the Taj Mahal. Sadananda Swami is telling, and he say also that we want serious people. We want those who have really the true ability to go deeper. And he says then, in the beginning, initially all those kind of neurotic characters, they will come, no? And he says the faster they drop off, the better it is. So because we are not like a mental house for crazy people, or like some, he says that they should first consult a psychiatrist, that is better for them. So but it's true, because really, and that's why some Upadeshamrita, Manashiksha, they are the perfect structure for our Gaudiya Bhajan. So which, if we want to enter deeply there, then we have to follow all those guidelines. Without following these guidelines, we can never reach really our goal, our desired goal. So all those restrictions which are given in those writings, they have actually only one purpose: to become more and more avesh. Avesh means absorbed, because we are the whole day absorbed in material affairs, in material dealings, in material whatever. So, but this way of life will give us a chance to be avesh, absorbed in the transcendental matters. So that's why the first and foremost duty of the members of Gaudiya Math, it is to be established in this. Not I am saying. This is, Rupa Goswami wrote Upadeshamrita, Raghunathas Goswami, Manashiksha, so all those things are there. Without them, we can never be established in or be called a Gaudiya devotee. So we have to try our best to really come to this achar and darsha idealism, this behavior and this idealism of which is explained there. And because we don't want to swim always, forever on the surface of this ocean. No, one day we have also to have the courage to go deeper in this ocean. That is the purpose, no? There are so many precious jewels and stones are waiting for us to discover. Gaudiya Bhajan is really the best thing in what we can do in our lives. But also, yes, it will take its time because it's like the seed has to be planted. No tree is coming and just you can have the fruits. No, these are the fruits of Gaudiya Bhajan, to really get these jewels and precious things available there in this Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. But first we have to plant the seed and then water it, taking care. But this is why Upadesh Vacho Vegam Manasa Krodha Vegam Chiva Vegam, there's all this Vacho to control the speech. We speak all the time so much useless things. So first thing Rupa Goswami is saying, you stop all the time speaking nonsense. So if we can do this, then a lot of problems are solved. Because then slowly our mind also becomes stable. So in this way, one has to go through all these instructions. And then if we are patient, then we will also really get this fruit one day. And this is what my Gurudev said, that because those acharyas or those devotees who really have got these tastes of these fruits, and these fruits, they are so delicious and in so much plenty variety there, that one is no more able to eat these fruits alone. You understand? So there are so many fruits that one has to distribute them. They are all fully grown, and there are so many valuable fruits, tasty fruits, and then one alone can never eat all of this. So then my Gurudev says, at that moment, that is actual preaching. If you have attained these fruits yourself, if we have attained these fruits, then one can also give those fruits. No? But for that, as I told, we need patience. There is all this utsaha, nishchaya, very enthusiastic if it comes to spiritual. Now we are very enthusiastic if we do some material activities, but we have to be enthusiastic to do the spiritual activities. Spiritual activities maybe taste a little bit bitter in the beginning, but that is because we are sick. So we have just to go on and overcome this period, and then they will also one day become natural and tasty. So yes, especially that patience. Nowadays, if you see, the environment is made in such a way that this valuable jewel of patience is almost lost. Because each and everything what we want nowadays, you can just get it. No, it's available. There is no more any restriction really. You can buy whatever you want, whenever you want, how much you want, and that just by one click everything is done. No? So there's no more any chance to become somehow, to develop this quality of patience. Because in this life nowadays, everything is just delivered in front of our doorstep. No? We just need to click, and then we have also instant access to all kinds of informations 24/7. we don't need to go anywhere. We have everything. We just need to open our mobile, and then automatically we can go. So that is really very bad thing, because in this way we lose completely our ability to develop patience. So all these things, they may be possible in this material world where we live in at present, but we cannot apply this formula to the spiritual life. Because spiritual life is about, because we can also try to get all this information in internet or somewhere. We can try to get some knowledge. But that is not the way. Because just by gathering some informations, we cannot get any realizations in that way. That's why Srila Gaura Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj said that, okay, you can buy books, you can read this and that, but where you will get really realizations. So it is very easy nowadays to forget the actual system of acquiring actual knowledge due to this our impatient approach. No? We want everything immediately. We just want to get it. We have no more patience to wait. That is why that all those ancient texts, we hear all these examples, where the students, they come and they live in the ashram by the guru, and then they do all kinds of menial services there for a long time to just please the guru, and without any complaints they just do. And in that way the master or the guru becomes happy with his disciple and somehow bestows some kripa upon him. So that is the original way of acquiring knowledge. Not the impatient way just to read everything up or get all informations from wherever source. No, if you want really deeply realized knowledge, then we have to approach it in that way. And even Krishna himself, in his own life, he has shown this, no? He has taught us that when he was joining the ashram of Sandipani Muni, then he himself was doing all these kind of services, menial services. Like one day, this is, everybody knows, I think, or many, that one day the Guru Mata, she was sending them out to bring some firewood, no? And but that day it was approaching a heavy storm and rain, and was getting cold, but that's why they could not come back, and they had to stay outside somewhere under the trees. And so the whole night they had to stay there, and early in the morning Sandipani he was very worried, and very early he went out and called out for them, "Oh, Sudam, Sudam, Krishna, Krishna." So where are they? And everywhere they were searching, and yes, and finally he saw them, and he was very happy that they just with a bundle of wood, they were sitting there, and he saw the dedication to their Guru Seva. And then he would give all blessings. He said that, "I bless you, that you will all," he is blessing Krishna, no? That is the Leela. But yeah, so he is giving blessing that Krishna, you will always remember all the teachings which you hear from me. Because that is the actual proof of Guru Kripa. If we, in times of need, we are able to act according to those teachings. No, knowledge is not real knowledge, or Gyan is not, Gyan has to become Vigyan. So knowledge is not really knowledge as long as it is not applied. It has to be in applied form. Only to keep it in our head, what is the use? So it is a difference between, that's why we say, a wise person, and we say someone who just knows. So the wise person means he has not just gathered information, but those who know, it's just a disk, is like our head, our intelligence, where you store all this information. But the information you get processed, then it makes us wise. So only to keep it in that storing place, that is useless. So we have to really, if you want to become wise, or in Sanskrit, if it should become Vigyan, it needs to put in action. Knowledge needs to put in action. And then with this knowledge, it brings, it gives real realization. So if we want actual realization, and not just some book knowledge, which will actually kill us because of its heavy weight, then the only way is Guru Kripa. Guru Kripa, Hi Kevalam, they say. So this is the only way. Guru and Vaishnava, they have the keys, in their hand. So the more and more we please them through our sincere service, the more keys we can collect. So we have to really depend fully upon them. If it's already here difficult to enter into the, let's say, governor's house, then how much you think it will be difficult to enter into Vaikuntha, or to enter into all these transcendental tattvas and all those things. There will be some gatekeepers, so many gatekeepers, they will wait for us, And if we don't have any kind of written invitation card, signed by Satguru, then we will be actually thrown out, because no entrance, trespassers persecuted, they cannot go. So how we will get this paper signed? That is through Sharanagati, through surrender. Sharanagati is the doorway to everything. That is why we say Shikai Sharanagati Pakkatera Brahma. It is the life of all the devotees. And surely in this regard we can also remember, just short, because this pastime of how Prajapati, he was going, and announcing that that who knows Atma Tattva, the self, he will become like undefeatable, and all hunger and thirst will go. So he will attain all possessions and everything he can desire. He is ageless and deathless. So all these qualities he was telling, and then the gods and demigods, they heard this announcement, and from the heavenly planet it was Indra, and from the demons it was Virocha who approached Prajapati. And then for 32 years, now you see, 32 years they had to stay there and doing Guru Seva, menial service, and in that way they approached, after that time, they approached their Gurudev, Prajapati, and he said, now please Gurudev, you, what is the secret of Atma Tattva? And then he said, yes, now, because now for a long time they were not allowed to shave, they were not allowed to cut their nails, and he said, you go to the water and to the river, I mean before you shave, you clean yourself, or he said actually before you look in the mirror with the beard and how you look now, and then he said, and now you just make yourself clean, you shave, and then you look also in the pot of water or in some reflection in water, and then you see your image there. And in that way, if you see that image, then he said, this is Atma. And then okay, now we know Atma, but on the way back, Indra was a little bit suspicious. He was thinking how it can be that actually it said the Atma is undefeatable, is full of joy, is eternal, but this body gets sick, he is not always joyful, and so many disease, and so he was not convinced and went back. But Virochan, in the meanwhile, he took it seriously, and now he got the reflection of real knowledge. No? He was cheated by Prajapati, and he teach all his family members or all those that yes, he knows Atma Tattva, it's just his body. So live your life, one life, eat, drink and marry, for tomorrow you will die. No? They say, there's a slogan in the material world. So that is all this hedonists. They are living like this. That's actually their parampara. So all those people who just think, yes, we have only one life, this body, and just enjoy whatever you can. But Indra was questioning, and that's why he went back and he said, oh, Gurudev, please allow, I need to know more. It's not really clear to me. Okay. Then you have to stay another 32 years. So in this way, he stayed another 32 years, and then again the time came, and Indra approached Prajapati, oh, now Gurudev, please let me know about Atma Tattva. And then he said that actually that body which you experience in dream, that is Atma. And then for some time he went back and was reflecting on this. But he again thought, how can it be? Also in dreams, I realize I dream sometimes, then I also fear, I'm in danger, also I feel pain, I feel all this, so how can it be the Atma? And that's why he again had to go back and inquire more, and Prajapati was very open-hearted, and he said, yes, sure, I can help you, you just stay 32 years more. And then again he stayed, and in this way the time was again over, and he approached his Gurudev and asked, what is it now, finally tell me. And then he said, actually, now here comes the point. Atma is what you experience in deep sleep. That what you experience in deep sleep, that is Atma. So then Indra went back and he was thinking, okay, but deep sleep, then it's like some totally unconscious. So how there's no joy, there's no bliss, so it's what the kind of stage it is. There's no awareness, nothing. And then he went again back, but this time Brahma said, okay, 5 years will do, so you stay 5 years more, then I will tell you. So he was patient enough to stay all those time now, and then finally what he told him, now I tell you the secret. The Atma is that one who experienced all these 3 stages. Now this is a very philosophical thing, and one has to deeply reflect on it, but it's a long discussion. But that's why Brahma could also say it in the beginning. Yes, Atma is that, like I do now, I say to you. But from this we get no realization. So we get just some kind of knowledge, but not realization has to be gained through the process of serving Guru. That's why he had to stay, 96. So 101 years totally. So in this way, then it was clear about him what means Atma Tattva. So it takes time. We have to Pratipadena Pariprashnena Sevaya. So these things which Krishna teaches in the Bhagavad Gita, we have to be surrendered, we have to ask questions in the submissive mood, and then with a lot of seva, then all those secrets will be revealed one day or later, but that we have to let up to Gurudev. We have no capacity to understand it from our point. So if they bless us, then surely it will be possible. And just to come back to our initial discussion regarding freedom, because especially in the 1920s, there it was when the British, they took over, no? It was also the time of a lot of political movements, like freedom movements. And also so many, a few of our Guru Varga, they joined these movements. For example, like the Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, he joined the movement of Subhash Chandra Bose, and the other movement was there also the non-violence movement of Gandhi. So also Sridhar Maharaj, he joined that movement. And at the same time also Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he wanted to preach another kind of freedom, no, with which transcends actually the any freedom of the mundane world. So he was speaking about the freedom of the soul, and that was the movement newly established at that time by Srila Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta, the Gaudiya Math, no, and all other politicians at that time, they preached about the birthright to have, that each one has the birthright to have freedom and sovereignty for the nation, for the country. And Prabhupada, he preached that everyone has the birthright of every soul is to get free of this material bondage and finally find their respective place in this in the eternal abode, in the eternal world. So, and that's why through this preaching, all these young men, many young men, very healthy, intelligent young men joined this movement. But then with the movement of the Gaudiya Math, so many, they also shifted from that freedom movements to Prabhupada's movement, the Gaudiya Math. And that was the new perspective of the young person to join the movement of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And like Vinod Prabhu, or Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, he was even having a knife and a gun in this movement of Subhash Chandra Bose. And but now he heard of Prabhupada, and then he joined Prabhupada's movement. But still they were searching after him, and they came also to the Gaudiya Math even, and they wanted to put him in prison. But then Prabhupada, he said that actually now, because Prabhupada was very influential and everybody knows him at that time, and then Prabhupada said, oh, actually now previously what he has done, okay, but now you see he's living in the mud, he's living such a life, so he has become a sadhu, so don't consider all this. And somehow by Prabhupada's influence, they let him go. And once also because the police now, they were very suspicious also of the Gaudiya Math at that time, because all these movements pop up, these freedom movements. So what is Gaudiya Math? Also the police could not really understand, so they were somehow suspicious, and they sent always some spies. And one spy was there, and he listened also to one of, because he had to listen very carefully, what they talk about and what they're preaching. And then he listens to Prabhupada, and that was over. He became a devotee at that moment. Just hearing, so powerful, hearing the words of Prabhupada. And later he said also, he was coming actually to as a spy, and then he became later also sannyasi. So, and then also about Bhakti Rakshak Ishtagoshthi, he was that time in the non-violence movement of Gandhi, and he would also sit very silently behind, in the assembly, and listen also to Pranavananda, that was at that time Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami's discourses, and but some other devotees, because of his very introvertive mood, like he was not speaking, not asking anything, some other devotees also, they had their doubt that maybe he's a spy or something. That and then Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta, he noticed him and he called him, and then they understood that it came out that he was previously in the Gandhi movement, and now Prabhupada gave him initiation, Ramananda Brahmachari, and also in a few years he got already sannyas also. So at that time many people, or the citizens, they admired Prabhupada's contribution, what he's doing, but also at the same times there were some like Subhash Chandra Bose. He also went once to Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta and complained that Prabhupada is diverting all those young people from the country to join his movement. So he also said that if you could also give some men to me, that would be better. So for that purpose. And but Prabhupada's answer was that, actually they are physically very weak, and that is of no use. So that's why somehow he managed it in that way, very cleverly. And so in this way, all kind of different persons, they were joining the Gaudiya movement. All actually so captured and like a magnet, by the transcendental personality of Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta. It was such an impression they all got. And we know also Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami, he was also working that time. And Babaji Maharaj told this many times also at the appearance or disappearance there of Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami, how one day it happened that he was finished with his work and just wanted to rush to the Gaudiya Math to hear Prabhupada giving lecture there. And it happened that one scorpion was in the shoe, and the scorpion bit him. So, but at that time also, just 2 days before, one case happened that one person died, and his feet was also bleeding, and some blackish poison like was there. And he said to his mother, no, everything okay. So, and he just ran and sit into Harikatha. And because such eagerness they had at that time, what must be, the attraction of Gaudiya Math at that time with Prabhupada, that they all just were so eager to meet Prabhupada even under such circumstances, which would be a question of life and death, but he would not mind. So that is, the Bhakti Rakshak Ishtagoshthi said that at that time the atmosphere was such, he cannot imagine, because Prabhupada was sitting there in the Natya Mandir, he was giving lecture to the devotees who come. Then he would say Tirtha Maharaj was sitting somewhere else on another place, and he was giving class there, and some other devotee, he was collecting funds. So he said that he felt such a great transcendental happiness at that time, and So Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta, he would personally overlook the prasadam distribution, and such a wonderful thing. No? And also when different disciples from him, their family members came, then Prabhupada would spend some time with them and make them very comfortable. So lovely engagement and nice arrangements. Really such a wonderful time. No? It depends only on our consciousness. So if we are also ready to give our life for that noble cause, then really so. We also, if we have only that center point to satisfy Guru and Vaishnava, then surely wonderful things can happen. No? It will create a very, very beautiful environment. And now we have this chance to create such an atmosphere. But you know what I mean. In our way, we also have a very blissful time to jointly try to serve, because we have the chance to serve one of those great Prabhupada Parshads like our Baba Maharaj, no? So who is like the captain on this ship, and with such a captain we also surely will be able to reach our destination. So we just have to keep on going and be patient, and let's try all together and pray that that we always can be somehow useful in the service, and they will engage us. So in this way, it's a very inspiring. These are all very inspiring things to hear, and we have just to try to add something of this in our life also. Okay, I think it's too late, so I will stop here. Then, if some question or someone want to say something, then we like to hear, and otherwise we can also stop. Okay, then so in that case, I thank you all for your precious time, and hopefully we can all meet next week again. Then we can discuss more and more. Okay, Jai Gaur, Dandavat to all. Hare Krishna.